percent are not coming through that back.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my god, I'm gonna cry. So cute.
Oh, she's there. Aww.
Oh, it's gratitude. Oh shit, I got
Alright, so every morning at Zenith, we like to start our day by sharing 3 or more things that we're grateful for. So we wanted to start this the same way so that we can, one last time as a Zenith community with our seniors, be able to share like 1 or 2 things. So I'll start. I'm grateful for being sort of supported surrounded by a bunch of supportive peers.
Do I need to like get up there?
No.
Okay. I'm grateful for all the seniors and all of the memories we've made.
I'm grateful for the opportunity that I've had with the seniors this year.
I'm grateful for all the love and care and dedication that's put into this ceremony because I feel like it shows how much we care for and love all the seniors.
I am grateful for the excitement of new adventures.
I'm grateful for all of you guys being a huge role model because I know it wasn't easy for you guys, and seeing that you could do it gives me hope that I can do it too.
I'm grateful for getting to know all of you, and I wish you all the best.
I'm grateful to have had the chance to learn alongside you all. It's been really fun. I'm grateful for all the time that we've had with each other this year and last year. I'm grateful we all get to be here to celebrate this with you guys. I'm grateful for all the time we got to spend with you guys and all of the effort and work put into it. I am grateful for the opportunity for Zenith to get to have our own special recognition ceremony, and I'm grateful to the underclassmen for the incredible hard work that they put in to make this day special for you guys.
I'm grateful for this whole ceremony in general and being able to be accepted into Zenith and graduate from here, because I probably would have graduated without it.
I'm grateful for getting the opportunity to come to Zenith, and that just the overall ceremony is a thing.
I'm grateful that I got to go to Zenith and all the opportunities and chances I got here.
I'm grateful for being able to grow with everyone here.
I'm grateful for having this amazing second dysfunctional family.
I'm grateful for the time that I've been able to spend at Zenith and all the friends and family that I've made.
I'm grateful for being able to graduate.
I'm grateful to have learned in such an environment that it helps me, reach goals that I never thought were possible, and just being in a room with such amazing, beautiful people right now. I'm really, really grateful.
It is with great honor that we gather here today to recognize the Zenith class of 2023. In the ceremony, we recognize our graduates in our own Zenith way, which is really special to us. We'd like to start by thanking you all for being here today, family and friends of the graduates, former students, teachers, administration, and staff. And I'd like to give a special thank you to the Zenith students and staff for making this ceremony happen, because it wouldn't have happened with us, and we put in a lot of hard work. Most importantly, the Zenith class of 2023, Magnolia Simmons, Lena Knight, Julia May Glaze, sorry, I'm really bad with names, Lana Massengale, Millie Purse, Maddie Shouty, Judd Holmes, and Ella Graffam. And now the Zenith coordinator, Emily Sapienza, is going to introduce the presentation of words. And she's going to cry.
I'm so excited.
Oh my god, I am gonna cry a lot. So this is what we get to do at Zenith. These guys all are about to earn diplomas, but on top of that, our Zenith tradition is, as a team of teachers, to choose a word that represents each kiddo and who they are, like, in their heart and on their journey. So what we do is we're gonna take turns, and we're gonna present words to you guys, and we're gonna go in order from who's been at Zenith the shortest to the longest, right down the line. So Jacob's gonna start, and they're like this.
Okay, I'm gonna give you your words. Hello everybody. So, Magnolia, I'll keep this short and sweet. I didn't have a ton of time to get to know you, but it was kind of like a puzzle piece fell right into place as we were like trying to come up with the right word. And the word we chose for you is cosmic. Not necessarily like the brownies, bowling, but maybe a little bit. But there's two definitions that kind of made us think of. One is the relating to the universe or the cosmos, especially as distinct from the Earth. So, like, a connection we thought was, like, you're pretty out of this world, right? In a good way. And I know, like, in like some conversations that, like, you and I have had, like, you had, like, I could always rely on you to go deep, to go, like, like, get, like, really heavy, like, to go from, like, what are we doing today, to, like, on the verge of tears, like, exploring, like, the outer dimensions of, like, the world. So it's and then the other definition was inconceivably vast. And that one speaks to me specifically, just, like, in terms of your creativity, as like, seen through your beautiful cool, very creative style, but also through your opinions and just your depth of empathy and this is worth moving.
Next, Lena Knight.
I love her little.
Prepare myself here. Hot minute, I got my water, got my Kleenex. Okay.
Just gonna like bing in the head.
So, I should have put this in a bigger font. So, I just want to think back to the first time I met Lena, which is when I interviewed her to join the program. And I can see us sitting on the grass outside on a spring day, and you're plucking at grass, and the breeze is blowing your hair, and we're just talking. And I was immediately struck by how humble and thoughtful and wise you were. But, as Jacob put it, you are an old soul. And he said something like, yeah, there's sort of this like jaded hard ass in you, but also this like beautiful balance. Oh, this is what Jacob said. Beautiful balance of jaded old hard ass and caring nurture. So even at that time when I first met you, like there were these flashes of mischief, right? That I could just see, this sort of glimmer. That twinkle that comes out from time to time. So at the beginning of the year, I remember we were talking about the community agreements, and I remember Maddie was there. I remember it was just a small group discussion, and you just like said things that totally synthesized like so many different deep points. And I was like blown away. Like it was one of those exhilarating feelings to feel like I'm learning something new through your perspective. And Tina shared the same thing about you doing the same thing in her class, that you can listen to what everybody says, you can weave it together in this beautiful way, but still really keep your own perspective and depth in it. The other thing that I really have appreciated about you is the way you seek advice. Sometimes like you'd come and you'd be like, there's this situation, you'd be like fired up, and you'd be like, I don't know what to do about this. But there's this like protector, like you like want justice, right? You want justice, and you are like gonna fight for it, for whatever you think is right. And then at the same time, like that twinkle in your eye, like you come and you'd be like, sometimes I just gotta go out in the woods. I like ride my 4-wheeler. And I just picture you at night just like ripping through the woods. Like, how are you holding that energy drink and driving at the same time? I don't know, right? Or I picture you, and I know this sounds crazy, but I picture you like at one of your softball games in the dugout. And for some reason, I'm like thinking it's like Major League Baseball, and you've got like chaw on your lip, and you're spitting on the ground, and just like, yeah. But okay, yeah. So this is the thing, though. The real thing that everybody appreciates about you, that I think speaks most to who you are as a person, is the way you give gratitude every morning. So every single day this year, Lena, when she gives gratitude, starts always by appreciating her younger brother. And then what flows from there, like we've all gotten super verbose, right, about gratitude this year, but when you do it, I feel like I am listening to a love poem, and you are like saying it with like this depth and gravity, that like one of my hugest gratitudes this year is listening to your gratitudes. So when we were trying to think of a word for you, we wanted something that like described like somebody who really brings things together, right? Like that you're like this cornerstone, foundational person. And we were like playing around with all these different words. We're like, is it cornerstone? And then Tina said it, and she was just like, guardian. And we like looked at each other, and we were like, that's it. because you are a carer and a protector of the people who are closest to you. So your sister, and I love this is a pit bull, right? So like people think of pit bulls as being really fierce, but they're actually incredibly loving and tender. I also just sort of picture you like with some warrior helmet on, right? Just like fighting and fighting. And then this bluebird, we did spirit birds for you guys, and the bluebirds come back. Like the thing I love about the bluebird for you is that bluebirds come back and like help their parents with their younger siblings, right? So they like are totally community minded, and other birds are just like, peace, I'm out. Or the parents are like, we're not feeding you anymore. Bluebirds stick around. But they have this incredible, they're like beautiful color too. So that reminded me of you as well. So, let's see. Nope. Yep. Oh yeah, so. I feel like you are an example to me of someone who truly lives your values. And that no matter where you go or what you do, I have full faith that you'll continue to live your values. So whether it's continuing to help run your family business, attending college, being a big sister and a friend, you'll continue to be strong, protective guardian of the people around you and the things you believe in. I'm so happy for you. Congratulations, and please continue.
No, we do team.
Hi, May. May, come up here. It's okay, you can stand there. Congratulations, May. You made it. We thought that the word that you represent the best is catalyze. And what that means is to cause an action or a process to begin. Pain is a catalyst, and the first step is awareness. And a quote that I read that I thought of you was that our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. The light does not lie. We will be confronted with new issues. We will open new wounds which need healing. And we will discover amazing parts of ourselves, which we did not yet know. And we will be able to breathe again. I'm so proud of you. And there's your word. And on the back is your bird, the Arctic loon. And I know Jacob had a beautiful description of what that I'm loony. Maybe not at all. It's time to cry. I'm expecting it, so. All right, Lana, your word.
I'm already gonna cry.
Is resolute. Resolute means persistent and spirited, courageous, and spunky and feisty. When you want to learn how to do something, you push through until you reach your goal. And it's about getting back up no matter how many times we fall down. Which brings me to my favorite Rocky Balboa.
Oh, no, here we go.
Let me tell you something that you already know. The world isn't all sunshine and rainbows. It
can be a very mean and nasty place. And I don't care how tough you are, it can beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or anyone else is not going to hit as hard as life. But it isn't about how hard we hit. It's about how much we can take and keep moving forward. That is how winning is done. Congratulations. It's resolute, and there is. Do you want to explain that?
This is actually from Ella. Ever since middle school, she gave me the nickname Llama because it sounded a lot closer to my name. So, ever since then, my favorite animal has been a llama. So.
And your spirit bird is
a flamingo.
Yes, it does.
Okay. Millie.
It's right here.
All right. Millie. Congratulations. Seeing you dance timber at the prom was the highlight of my year, and I thank everybody for sharing that video with me. You have grown so much this year, and I loved hearing your voice in my classroom. You have so much deep knowledge to share, and your artwork is beautiful. And I left it hanging up, and I'll probably leave it there forever. I loved your graduation gown decorated with powerful messages of social justice reform. And I wish you well in that lifelong endeavor. Don't let anyone silence you or what you have to say. So your word is arcane. Thank you for introducing me to that show. Because you are fantastical, you can be obscure, and arcane also requires like secret or mysterious knowledge. My message to you is, don't let the past have any power over you. Part of your arcane magic is that when you decide to change the world, you don't ask for permission. Congratulations. Designed by Sophia, who told me exactly what to do. And your bird is the European
Again, my first memory of you is your second interview, sitting at the table at Old Zenith. And if I think back on what I thought of you at that time, I think I felt like that girl is so sweet, but she seems like shy, or there's like something holding you back. Even at that time, I could see that it was like your smile was like under a veil of like meekness, which is crazy to think about if you know Maddie at all now, right? Maddie gets to Zenith, and thank God you are an extrovert, because we're few and far between these days at Zenith, right? Maddie quickly wins everybody over with her incredible wearing of 70s bell bottoms, with her, with your caretaker tendencies to look out for the people and care after the people that are important to you, for your thoughtful contributions to class. I remember this one day that it was like winter and everybody was just like hating life. And it's lunchtime, Maddie was like, I'm trying, Emily. I am trying to get these people up and moving. And I was like, I appreciate you. And there's only so much you can do. But I appreciate that. most importantly, I think we would all agree, Dance Dance Revolution. You have the best moves in the history of Zenith, and that TikTok you and Joe made last year is literally one of my favorite things I've ever seen in my entire life. But really, I know I've told you this before, so I'm going to tell everybody else. There was this point last winter when Maddie came to school and was just like, I am done. I am going to love myself no matter what. I'm going to take care of myself and forget anybody who isn't on board with that. And we were like, yes, finally, yes. It was amazing, right? And do you remember what I said about that? Like the thing that I was like, ooh, you are like sunshine with an edge, right? And I think like so we do this like thing at Zenith where we, instead of doing like, best smile, most likely to succeed, we do like most likely to become president, and then blah, 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 like very specific to each kid, and we call them superlatives, not superlatives. I just want to read this superlative that Maddie's classmates wrote for her last year, which I adore, which was, most likely to invent a time machine for the sole purpose of going back to the 70s to become the first M&M during the funk and disco era, blowing everyone away with her Just Dance skills, brainwashing everyone to love her, fighting anyone who gets in the way, living out the rest of her life dancing. So when we were thinking of a word for you, like it really felt to me like it had to have something to do with light, like coming back to the light. We came up with all these words like eclipse and luminous and all this stuff. And then Jacob said something in check-in the other day, and I was like, that's the word. I'll show it to you. Incandescent. And I'm going to read you what it means. This is, and I'll tell you, this is one of my like all-time favorite words. Wait, I lost it. Hold on. Wait for it. Glowing or luminous with intense heat. Strikingly bright, radiant, clear. Characterized by glowing zeal, ardent, and emitting light as a result of being heated. And you might remember that in nature rating last year when we did that, like, do you remember we did the like vocabulary of it? We did all different words for anger. So incandescent can mean like you're glowing even with rage, right? That's what it can mean. And I love it because when you're fired up about something, watch out. But just the other day, actually, when we were talking about this, Hazel was like, you know, the thing about Maddie is that she always comes back. And it's true, right? You can go back to happy like that. So like that is what I want to impart to you. Like just keep going back to the light. And I wanted to tell you, and I meant to say it earlier, the other thing I've been thinking about for you is this Bob Marley song. When he says like, oh, I gotta read it because I'm gonna cry. In the song, Could You Be Loved, he just says, in the darkness, there must come out into light. And that's just what I kept thinking of when I was trying to write this. So it was down to the wire here at the end of the year. And for a minute, I was worried. For a couple minutes, I was worried. And then hard things happened. And like, then it was like nothing. It was like turning back to the light. And not only did you get it done, you took a test for a course that you did so well on that you are going to go into medical assistant training. And you were so proud, and Mr. Doubleday was so proud, and we were so proud. And that was it. An explosion of incandescent sunshine for me and Shelby. So, my final words to you are, we see you living out the rest of your life, caring for the people you love, fighting for what you believe in, sharing your glowing incandescent brilliance with everyone around you, and living out the rest of your days dancing.
All right. Emotional talk. This is going to be slightly different. I did. So, so like we started with like this big like exhaustive list of like different possible values, and the goal is to like end up with like 3. And I remember one of them that you ended up with was efficiency, and I feel like you were like, oh, cool, like kind of like this, that activity sort of worked because you were like, hey, I ended up with efficiency, and yeah, I like efficiency, and it was kind of like this like light bulb sort of moment. And I really appreciate that because I see that in like all that you do. Like you're always moving, you're fast, but your intention is always to like make the most out of the time you have. Like you don't want to waste time. So the word we ended up choosing for you, Judd, was sonic, and there's similar to how I did this before. I'm going to just share a couple of definitions, explain why I think they fit. Having to do with sound. So I immediately go to your yawn. That will pop up at the most inopportune times. It's always audible. In a good way. There's another one. There's a commercial. It's a Tide commercial about this the talking stain, where like there's like a stain on the tie, and it's like while like the police officer's like pulling someone over, and it's like at various times you're like that talking stain where you have something to say, and you're like, oh no, I gotta get it out right now. It's gotta come out right now, and I'm like, oh. I just lost my train of thought, and it was like, it's always good information. It was always good contributions. It was always like welcomed information, but it was sonic. The other definition was having to do with the speed of sound, specifically in air, which, if anyone is curious, that is approximately 761 miles per hour. And like I already mentioned, you move quickly and with efficiency, which I appreciate. Another connection, although was oh, Sonic the Hedgehog, just like games. So cool bonus, another layer of meaning to it. Although as I was thinking about this, I'm like, wait, I almost feel like I've had conversations with you about Sonic, and I feel like you don't really like Sonic. So I'm sorry if that is the case. It's not Sonic specifically, but the part. And then just the fast, the speed, the sonic boom. So like that, I want to honor you, and I want to honor the word, and I'm going to leave it at that. So, sonic.
Nice. Oh, I love that.
Hey bro, last but not least, I like to have fun. So Ella gets to go last because she came to us sophomore year. So we've known this kiddo, had this kiddo at Zenith for a long time. So Elle, the first thing I remember about you is your second interview, just reading some incredibly beautiful, well-written, you did your task, and it was just whoa, that was really well written. And then you started at Zenith right away, right? Because it was Q4. And this was the masking times. So this thing happened a bunch, during that time where I'd meet kids for interviews, and I truly had no idea what they looked like. And it was really weird, and they didn't know what I looked like either. In fact, Eli was like, it's a thing, right? When suddenly someone sees your face. So one day we were sitting in my classroom, you probably don't remember this, and I was like, hey, can you just flash me? Can I just see what you actually look like? And I can just see tiny little Ella just being flashing your sweet little face, and to just think about how long ago that was, and how much we've been through, how much you've grown and changed. So
earlier this year, we were talking about recognition ceremony, and Ella was like, I can just hear Emily when she's gonna give me my word. She's gonna be like, yeah, Ella, you know, she's struggling. And I was like, that is exactly what I would have said and how I would have said it. And then I was like, now I can't say it. But it was true. There were hard days. There were days on the couch. There were long talks. There were tears. Some of them were yours. Some of them were ours. There was some hard times, right? But you have this spirit, this indomitable spirit that just keeps rising back up again. So one beautiful example of this is the first day of school this year. I was home sick with COVID, so I couldn't be at school. It was terrible. So they had me on Zoom for most of the day, but then people would I was just on an iPad, and then people would be doing other things. And Ella just comes over at one point, and I'm just like, someone talk to me, I'm just trapped here on the screen. And Ella, do you remember this? You just come over and you're like, right? Oh yeah. I was like, this is the best. And then the first Wednesday lunch that I was there for, we were cooking in all different rooms, and I was in the kitchen, and there's one set of music on in the kitchen, and Ella's in Tina's room, there's a different set of music in Tina's room, so we catch each other's eyes through the doorway, and we both just start singing and dancing to totally different songs. And Ella's like, I don't even know what you were listening to.
Either.
And I was like, that was really a special Ella moment. And then later, other kids were like, oh no, that happens all the time. It's a thing. Yeah. And then, right, and just to sum that up, recently I was just going through my phone, because kids take pictures with my phone at Wednesday lunch, and there's all these pictures of Ella being like, I did not take these pictures. And they're totally, if I could, I would show them to you right now. They're amazing. Yeah, and also, oh yeah, two other good ones, your British accent and your funny voices. The recent gift of that was on field day, we were talking about doing something that was going to be chaotic, but how we were going to make it okay. And Ellen was like, don't worry, it's zenith proof. I was like, that is, few things are zenith proof. I was like, we got to keep using that one. So, yeah. So, one word, when I taught you what verbose means in nature writing, you were like, verbose. You're like, I'm verbumptuous. And I almost gave you that as I was like, no, we can't do that. But the word that I've had in my mind for you, for all this time, and JoJo was my artisan. JoJo helped me with this. We made it together. Yeah. The word is verve. I'll tell you. We made it together. And it means, it's seriously, people have been asking, what is that word? And I'm like, it's just Ella. It means Ella. It's vigor and spirit or enthusiasm, and the spirit and enthusiasm animating artistic composition or performance. It is the perfect word for you. It's spirited but classy and brave, just like you. So I just want to think of two final images I have of you, which is the very last history class of the year with Ella. One of the things that I try and teach, my learning goal for history class is just things are complicated. Just understand that whatever you think is going on, things are really complicated. And we're in class, and I had all these takeaways that I wanted the kids to get by the end of the class. And before I could even name them in the class, Ella would raise her hand and be like, so does this mean? And then you would just say the thing that I had been hoping that everybody would take away from the class. And I was like, again, it was a chills moment for me. Not that kind of, I'm like, oh yeah, chills moment. But I was like, this is amazing. And then you came back and you had to do that final article. And we're having this great, she had to do a makeup assignment. We're reading this article. And we had this really good conversation. You were like, I get this. And then you were done, and you packed up your stuff, and you're like, hey, gotta go. And you ran off down the hall, and I was like, oh, shrimp, there she goes. That was it, and it was and it was over. want to say to you. There will still be hard times ahead. And we are grateful that you trusted us enough to share your hardest times and darkest moments with us. We are even more grateful to have been here to witness your birth and triumph. I have full faith that no matter what challenges you meet, you will rise back up, push through, keep moving forward, and it will be awesome. So proud of you.
What? What else am I supposed to
Okay, so this painting is of like where Mount Batty and Mount McGonagall meets from Camden Harbor. So that was that. I hope that always represents to you a place of home and homeness. And I hope that you know that you can always come back here into this community, and you know we'll always be welcome. For everyone that didn't know, Jacob's leaving us this year. He's going to Arizona, back to Arizona. So your word is Mundavajan. Well, however you want to pronounce it. It means wandering over the world. So I picked this word for you because your stories and your wisdom that you've brought with you has really inspired me to branch out and explore things on my own. So I just wanted to say thank you for that. When I came to Zenith, I was a very big, angry mess. And Jacob really put some things into a different perspective for me and helped me slow down a lot. And that really helped. He also was one of the only classes that I enjoyed. He helped us with our learning and supported us through it. And Jed had he had the whole room set up for growing mushrooms, just anything we wanted to learn about. He was there supporting us, and it was just great to have you as a teacher and have you part of our road because it meant a lot.
Welcome, everyone. We so deeply appreciate your presence here today. It means a great deal. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Allison. I am lucky enough to get to spend one day a week with this incredible crew. And in the spirit of choosing a word to capture the meaning of this day, I chose a word that I felt captured this graduating class and also the magic here at Zenith. And that word is belonging. The dictionary defines belonging as to be the property of, as in the car did not belong to him, to be a member or part of a particular group, organization, or class, as in they belong to the garden club, or having the right personal or social qualities to be a member of a particular group, as in young people are generally very anxious to belong. I would change that to all people. In the social emotional realm, belonging is seen as a critical ingredient to mental health and well-being. In fact, American psychologist Abraham Maslow, in his hierarchy of needs, listed belonging just above the human basic need of safety and security. Social worker, researcher, and author Brené Brown defines true belonging as the spiritual practice of believing in and belonging to yourself so deeply that you can share your most authentic self with the world and find sacredness in being both part of something and standing alone in the wilderness. Unlike fitting in, which involves assessing a situation and becoming who you need to be accepted, true belonging doesn't require you to change. Rather, it requires you to be who you are. Poet and author Maya Angelou sums this up in a beautiful quote. And I can't read this without crying, so here we go. You are only free when you realize you belong no place. You belong every place. No place at all. Yeah, okay. The price is high. The reward is great. Brown interprets, we confuse belonging with fitting in. But the truth is that belonging is just in our heart. And when we belong to ourselves and believe in ourselves, above all else, we belong everywhere and nowhere. And so, Zenith 2023 graduates, I won't forget to. I want you to know. I want you to know that I have witnessed each of you make the courageous decision to engage in the process of belonging to yourselves. My hope is that we here at Zenith have created a space within which that work was possible. If you need to know what it looks like in practice and how it feels, our circle this morning embodied it. However, if we had taught you well, then you know that this work does not end here. It's life's work. It's scary, sometimes lonely, always brave. The price is high. The reward is great. May it be the path that you all choose. Congratulations.
Just like we start our days at Zenith with gratitude, we often end our days with shout-outs. Shout-outs allow us to practice expressing appreciation for the members of our community, accrediting laughs, meaningful conversations, a well-cooked meal, or any number of things to a certain person. This often makes for a genuine way to reflect on the high points of the day through the recognition of those who really contributed to the community spirit. All of these Zenith traditions ultimately reflect back on the idea of community. And today, every individual in this room is a part of it. So as the loved ones of the class of 2023, I would like to invite you to join us in our very last round of shout-outs with the seniors for the seniors. Does anybody want to start?
Do you just want to do it first and then like make an example kind of?
Okay, yeah. I can. Okay, I'll start. I guess this is like a gratitude shout out combo, and what Allison said at the end like really made me cry because the thing with belonging, like all looking up to like shout out to every senior because they're people that I get to look up to, like real role models and like people who made you feel like you belong in a space like this, and I just can't express enough how much like it's, I don't know, it means a lot. Shout out to all of you. I love you all. Okay.
So we'll just keep it open and just, it'll be aqua taco silence for a minute, but just stand up and shout it out if you want.
Stand up.
You don't have to stand up. I don't want us to stand up.
I don't want to stand up, but shout out to Ella because.
Aww.